Hi, today we're making vegetable soup in the Instant Pot, and I'm really excited to share this recipe with you. It's a vegetarian recipe. Well, it's actually vegan. There's no animal products in it at all, but it's a great soup. It makes a whole container in the Instant Pot, as well as it freezes super. So you can make this giant pot and eat what you want off of it. If you don't like leftovers, you can put it in your little Tupperware containers and toss it in the freezer, and then you've got a lunch or a dinner ready for another day. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our Instant Pot liner and some olive oil, and I put, I would say about a tablespoon. That's not a tablespoon. About a tablespoon of olive oil. I don't like too much. I think the original recipe calls for 2.5 tablespoons, and I just think that that's an excessive amount. It doesn't need it. Just a little bit to get these onions sauteed is plenty. Just give them a little room to move around and sizzle and develop some of that flavor is really all that's needed. I use about a half of a cup of red onion. You can use white or yellow or red. I think the original recipe calls for yellow, but I prefer the depth of flavor in the red, so that's what I'm going to use. We're going to put the liner in the Instant Pot, and I have it already going on saute. So while that's working and getting itself sizzled, it only takes just a few minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, I am going to get chopping on the carrots and the potato. Okay, so the onions have sauteed and they look great. I was able to put in a little bit of water just because I wasn't done chopping and they were ready, so I put in a little bit of water just to slow down the cooking process. I bought 2 loose carrots. I don't eat carrots very often. I'm making this soup for someone else. Jack and Sabra had a baby, and I have volunteered to make them dinner, and I enjoy this soup when I was eating higher carb, but since I am lower carb, I don't eat these vegetables. I eat other vegetables, and so something that was quick and easy for them to heat up and to eat, as well as have in their freezer for future meals, I thought was a good idea for a new family. So congratulations to them. I'm super excited to make this soup for you. So there's 2 loose carrots that I just got at the produce section. And then I picked up 2 russet potatoes, but this one, they were about this size, both of them, and this actually yielded quite a bit of potatoes. So I'm going to go by eye on this first before I decide if the other one needs chopped. So while the Instant Pot, I'm going to turn it off of saute now because I'm going to prepare to pressure cook. It doesn't need to be on saute anymore. And pressure cooker works with pressure from boiling water. So I'm going to put in just enough water to really cover the vegetables, which is pretty close to a quart. And then I'm going to add some salt and pepper and 2 bay leaves. I'm going to put the bay in now so that the pressure will extract that flavor. And I'm going to do 2 layers. Sorry. I'm going to do 2 layers of salt and pepper. I want the potatoes to really be infused with flavor. And then our second round is going to be the rest of the vegetables. And they're going to need a little bit of salt and pepper themselves. Did you just eat a bay leaf? My dog just ate a bay leaf that flew out of that container. I don't know if that's safe or not. We're going to have to look that up while I get this pressure cooker going. Okay, so we're going to do manual. And I don't think I need 30 minutes. I actually think I need about 20 because this is going to cook a second time around. And that's going to fill in a lot of the tenderness of the vegetables, that if the potatoes or the carrots, if they don't get cooked this time around, they'll get cooked on the second time around. So we're going to let that go for 25 minutes, I believe is what I selected, 20 or 25 minutes. We'll find out. And then I'm going to chop the rest of the vegetables. I've got some parsley, and there's going to be frozen green beans and peas and corn. I also have a few more herbs and spices that I'm going to put in there as well. So I'll get everything prepped and I'll see you in a minute. Hi. So the potatoes and the carrots have pressure cooked perfectly. 15 minutes is actually all that it needed, and then I vented the steam. I did not allow it to naturally come to regular pressure. I vented it so that the pressure came down very quickly. I wasn't sure how long the vegetables were going to need. This is the first time I've used the Instant Pot for this recipe. I tend to do things on the stove and then transfer it to the crock pot. But I wanted to be able to have the ability to seal properly to transport this soup. So I stopped it a little early, and now we're going to add the rest of the ingredients. We've got 4 cloves of garlic, and I'm just using minced garlic from the produce section. So that's going to be 2 teaspoons, and I like to get the like juice at the bottom too, because that seems to be good. That way you get that garlic flavor infused throughout and not just have like bites of garlic. And I think if you do this recipe on the stove, you might want to put that garlic in at the end of your saute with the onions. I think that flavor development would be nice. I just don't want to I don't want to do that in this situation, because the Instant Pot saute method is really, really high, and there's nothing worse than like scorched or burnt garlic. It's disgusting. And so since this recipe is for someone else, I really want it to be the best that I can make it. I'm going to add a 46-ounce can of the rolled gold tomato juice. And I have 2 cans of petite diced tomatoes. Half teaspoon of dried thyme, and then I'm going to do a little searching. I probably should have done this before for the bay leaf. Well, I guess there's 2. So hang in there with me. Just one more second. I see it. I just have to fish it out. Okay. So we've got that. Now we've got some frozen and a little bit more fresh ingredients to put in here. I got about 1.3 cups of frozen corn. I picked super sweet just because that's what I like, and so that's what I would like to give away, is stuff that I like. And I have about 1 cup of garden green peas and 1.5 cups of green beans. So we've got this really high in vegetable content here. And the last fresh ingredient is going to be about 1 cup of green kale and 1 cup of parsley. These 2 ingredients provide a lot of nutrition as well as great, fresh, bright flavors for this soup. It is amazing with this. I've made it without the greens, and I've just decided that the greens really add a nice complexity, and it's a fresh taste. You know, it tastes great, and that's the way I like it. So that's the way I've kept it in this recipe. Whenever I made the potatoes and the carrots, I put about a half teaspoon, maybe 3/4 teaspoon of salt, and so now I'm going to put about another teaspoon to bring out the flavors even more of the vegetables, and some fresh ground black pepper, because that's delicious too. And I'm going to give this a stir, and I'm going to put this back on warm, and I'm going to let warm cook the vegetables the rest of the way. Well, I guess it's not cook the vegetables, but thaw the vegetables, and then it will be ready to serve. I've made this and had it just by itself. And I've made it for other people that like grilled cheese sandwiches to dunk into it. So it's really up to you. I've had people have it for lunch. I've had people have it for a snack, or even in substitute of a salad before a larger meal, just to fill the belly with low-calorie, high-fibrous foods. I hope you try this soup and that you like it as much as I do.